Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Prescott from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Prescott yet again. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering. Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Prescott now. This will be caught just inside the 10.
Stupid ass down.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. To the air again, Prescott. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead,
under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jabal Sheard coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Love. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Hilton's first catch, good for a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
What?
The ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
The tuna is what actually pissed me off. And remember, I don't eat mac and cheese, but that set me off.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
First down, Prescott looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Incomplete. Well, we got a second here after that incompletion. Let's have a little fun. I know you saw Ryan Fitzpatrick's get-up in the post-game press conference after week 2.
And we're not talking about the beard this time.
No, well, that was part of the ensemble.
We're talking about the trappings, aren't we?
How about that outfit? Those were Deshaun Jackson's clothes, is that right?
That's my understanding. Clothes, jewelry, shades, the whole deal. He came out and paid homage to his guy who got him a 75-yard touchdown pass in the game, and everyone had a ball with it. Media, team, Fitzpatrick, you name it. I'm sure Deshaun Jackson got a kick out of it as well. Personally, I thought he raided your closet because when I saw him come out, I said, hold a second. That's how Brandon dresses when we leave a ball game.
My favorite thing, though, from all of this was the social media posts that had 2 different pictures. On the left, it was his freshman year at Harvard. Looked like the All-American boy. And then that press conference photo on the right. You want to talk about the alter ego of somebody? And a big loss here as he's taken down. Margus Hunt able to run him down for a loss of 18 yards. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Chester Rogers deep for Indianapolis. That's taken on the 25. Burst by him near the 35. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Well, CD, switching gears for a second, you know, there's been a special teams issue so far in the NFL this season, especially you look at week 2 through Sunday's games. There were 19 missed extra points and field goals combined between all the kickers in the league.
And if you look at Minnesota and Cleveland, that's where the spotlight really focuses, because Minnesota, a rookie kicker in Daniel Carlson, they spent a 5th-round pick on him, supposed to solve their kicking issues. He missed 3 in Green Bay, including a couple potential game winners. And Cleveland with Zane Gonzalez, I believe he left 11 points on the board, or I should say off the board, with missed extra points and field goals in their loss to New Orleans.
So maybe some kickers that aren't seeing time now aren't even on a team that might be popping up on rosters soon. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Jeff Swaim, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because he just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
He may try and run for this. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Luck. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And he's brought down. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Early down steps will put this offense in a precarious position. We know this will turn the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, let's take a step away from this game for a second. Talk about teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks in the NFL season. Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. How about those surprises all being 2-0 right now?
Yeah, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Rams are all 2-0. Not a major surprise. You're exactly right because they have one common characteristic, those teams you mentioned, Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, and Tampa. None of them made the playoffs last year. And what's the one thing we do know about the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before will not make them 2 years in a row. So these teams could be some of the early replacements in the playoff race for 2018.
And one more stat, 62% of teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 81 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from a yard out. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Try to lay one up deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Luck. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Luck now to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Luck now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Luck. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And that one results in 35 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get
Prescott stripped. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
On first down, Luck. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. A CD switching gears for a second. You know, after last year, 7 NFL head coaches were relieved of their duties. And in week 1 of this season, those 7 coaches went 0-7. They fared a little better, though, in week 2.
They certainly did. Finally got into the win column. 3 of those happened. 1 in Chicago, 1 in Tennessee, and 1 in Indianapolis. Finally getting off the schneid. The other guys trying to get it done in week 3.
And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
They go play action here on first down. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now Elliott. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He's going to get it running right. Wiggles free. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Throwing. Prescott. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Colts are going to take over with a football. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. Well, with that incompletion, we've got to talk about the ties that we've seen in weeks 1 and 2. Everyone was talking about the Steelers-Browns week 1, Charles, but week 2 we saw another. The game that you had, Vikings and Packers.
Yeah, and do you know something? They tied at 29. You know, it's the first time teams have tied with the score 29-29 in NFL history, so another little oddity that you throw in there. But I think the common characteristic between the Vikings, Packers, and the Steelers-Browns from week 1, kicking. The kicking game got both games really affected in a big way. The Browns could have won, had a field goal blocked. The Vikings could have won. Their field goal kicker missed 3. And Mason Crosby, the Packers, made 1. But the Vikings had called timeout. He had to do it again, and he missed. So there you go. 2 ties in the first 2 weeks.
First time that's happened since 1971. The Colts on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Luck. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Luck now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To the air again. Luck. Over the middle. It's caught by Rodgers. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Back now in Arlington. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing again is Locke. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Mack. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Luck throwing again. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Again, Luck. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're going to throw in the ball as well.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Out of the gun, Luck. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10, Luck again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Prescott from the gun. And he's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Prescott. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, let's go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They run with Wilkins. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Rhodes. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a 1st down throw. Luck to the right side to Eric Ebron. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now a play fake, and it's Luck. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now it's Luck. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now it's Luck. Space to run past the 20. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride. Another first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Luck now to throw. His throw incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Luck. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta. That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he's got his man Hilton. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Colts able to get this back with it, a touchdown. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. It didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Go. Talk.
Back to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Only 1 timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have 1 timeout left. And that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch. Not at all.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football. Low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.